about this. Right now, you're going to listen to me.
Órale, solo trucker más movies and shows. And you know what, dog? There is one man that, dang it, his movies definitely stick out, and we're here to talk about those movies. But let me go ahead and bring in my great T-shirt brothers. First, from Two Face Entertainment, one Mr. Fred Segura.
What's up, my brother? How you doing, man? How you doing? Good to be here. Yeah, hey, bye. We got the great today. We got the great
We,
today.
we, we got we got we got two gray shirts here, man. But is there a third? Is there a third?
Is there a third?
Let's
That's the
find
question.
let's find out, man. Straight out of San Jose. He is a Chicano studies teacher. One, Mr. Robert Anthony.
Got the gray
Oh,
shirt, ready to do it. Right? It was not planned. It was not planned. Great
yeah,
minds think alike.
good to
Hey,
see you, man. This is good.
some things were just meant to be. Some things
Right?
were just fate, you know.
No,
So, yeah, maybe we should go play the lottery now or something, man.
right? Something. No, for real, bro. For real. This is kind of crazy. And then Quentin Tarantino movies, for that matter. That like, dude, this is awesome. This is awesome.
All right, gentlemen. Let me start with you first, Robert. What was the first Tarantino movie, or did you even know? Were you even aware of Quentin Tarantino? Um, I'm asking, what's the first Tarantino movie you've seen? But were you even aware, like, this is a Quentin Tarantino movie?
No, the first Quentin Tarantino movie I saw was True Romance, and that was a
Okay.
script that he sold, but he didn't direct it. Right, and
Mm.
but I'll tell you what, man, I love True Romance. You know what I mean? And it would continue a theme of his movies that I just thought was brilliant, man. The dialogue in his movies, bro. The little the little scenes between people. There's always one that stands out. And in True Romance, man, it's the Sicilian scene. You know, that scene was so classic, so funny, bro. I couldn't. I'll tell you, and this is a true story, bro. Just to be cool, and I thought it was cool. And I'll tell you what, my friends, they were kind of vibing on it too. I started smoking Chesterfields.
Really,
Okay.
I
very
swear,
good.
I found Chesterfields, and when people would be like, "Hey, can I have a cigarette for me?" I'd pull it out, and yeah, you can have one. And they'd be like, "What's that?" I'd be, "It's a Chesterfield." I thought I was the coolest dude ever, dude. Right? Because that's what he smoked at the end, man. But man, it was a great movie, and like I said, man, it would continue in line all of the movies of his, and I'm pretty sure he's probably batting in the high 97, 98% with me with all of his movies. Right? I can't go straight. Everything he's done is 100 because there's some things that I didn't like, and we'll get into all that on other movies. But the first one I ever saw was True Romance. If you haven't seen it, I highly suggest you recommend it. I'm pretty sure all three of us here would recommend that movie.
Oh,
Heavyweight actors, good A-list actors, good B-list actors. Awesome
great
movie.
script.
Great
Great
Do
script.
script.
do they sell Chesterfields here in the Golden State of California?
I'll tell you what, I don't know if they still do because thank goodness I've kicked that habit of smoking cigarettes. But there used to be like how they have those they used to have like just a cigarette shop where you could buy cartons and you could buy different cigarettes. I don't know, you could just go in there, man, and bro, I remember buying Chesterfields and the packaging alone. And the coolest thing about it, man, is that my old man, my dad, he used to smoke Salem's. My dad was an old
Oh,
school Salem menthol dude, right? And I
oh,
remember
Okay.
when he saw
yeah.
the Chesterfields, my dad was even like, Chesterfields, can I have one of those? And I was like, yeah, I thought that was so cool.
That's
Smoking
awesome.
Chesterfield, dude. I really did. I really
Yeah,
did.
I'm not a smoker either, so I don't know all the brands of when it comes to cigarettes. I just never heard of Chesterfields until the movie True Romance. That
Yeah.
and that's the only time I've ever heard of that cigarette. Hey, I'll go ahead and ask you this, Robert. Um, do you consider True Romance a Tarantino movie?
Definitely. Just because the
Okay.
way it's written, the character development, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Just the whole, the extremes, the highs, the lows, man. I think it's I think it's awesome, man. I think it's definitely a Tarantino movie, definitely. And just real quick, that was the last time I would see another brand of cigarettes in a Tarantino movie because after that he started going to his own brand of
The Red
cigarettes.
Apple.
Red Apple,
Red
right?
Apple.
Red Apple.
Yeah.
There's no such thing
Okay.
as Red Apple cigarettes. I don't think. If they did,
Well,
I would have scooped them.
they
When he
don't
started
exist.
making Red Apple cigarettes.
They don't exist.
I knew some Puerto Rican guy that was from New York, moved out here, and that was the first time I ever heard of Newports. I didn't even know Newports were
Oh
a
yeah.
brand of cigarette. I just knew like the popular ones. I'm not a smoker, but I just knew the popular ones. And he's all like, "Oh yeah, man, because of New York." He was only over here for a few months, but I was just like, I never even heard of those things. Hey, Fred, I'll ask you, man. Do you consider True Romance a Tarantino movie?
Definitely so, man. It has Quentin Tarantino. Like, I mean, he's oozing out of the whole film. And I watched it when I didn't even know who Quentin Tarantino was.
Mm,
But there's something about Quentin Tarantino films that draw you in. Be it like Robert stated, the dialogue, because it's not. How can I put it, man? It's like almost like a regular, like like you're a fly on the wall to his films when you hear the dialogue in these films. So it really attracted me to that. And again, I just I saw it. I know it's directed by Tony Scott, but I was like, okay, and that was it. I didn't know who
okay, so
Tarantino was at the time.
let me ask you what I asked Robert. What's the first Tarantino movie you've seen, and did you know? Were you aware of Quentin Tarantino?
You know what? The first Tarantino film I saw after True Romance was Pulp Fiction. I skipped over Reservoir Dogs and I saw Pulp Fiction, and I was at my compadre's house and he had the VHS. And
Mm,
well, before that, some guy had said at an old music store, he said, "Oh, John Travolta's making a comeback. He's wearing a ponytail and and when the internet was barely kind of just it wasn't not everybody had it. And then I didn't really pay no mind for fiction. And then my compadre had it on VHS, and I go, "Hey, so is this movie good or what?" He goes, "Hey, go ahead and borrow it, take it." And I brought it home, man, and I fell in love with that film, bro. But I still didn't know Quentin Tarantino. It wasn't until after I started researching. I go, wait, this guy that wrote True Romance, and then I looked up more stuff, and I go, Reservoir Dogs, and then I went back to watch Reservoir Dogs. So that's how that came about. And then from that point, I already knew, you know, yeah.
okay, yeah. I mean, I guess we could count True Romance. That'd be the first one I seen.
Hmm.
Didn't even know Tarantino was involved in that movie till many years. Actually, just a few years back. I had no idea he was involved, but it makes sense because leading up to seeing all these other movies, I'm like, yeah, that definitely screams Tarantino right there, man. Especially the Tom Sizemore and Christopher Penn and their characters in that movie. It's just badass across the board. Um,
Yeah.
I did watch Reservoir Dogs. Okay, I did see that one. Believe it or not, I did not see Pulp Fiction till probably going towards like the late '90s, man.
Oh,
Even
wow.
though even though that movie came out in 1994, I probably did not watch that movie till like '99. Um, and I heard great things about it. I heard great things about it, and I'm like, one day I'm gonna watch it. One day I'm gonna watch it. I just never got across watching it till somewhere around like 98, 99. So it was Reservoir Dogs, and I was like, damn, this is a kick-ass movie, man. This was, badass.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't really at the time, and even to this day, I don't really pay attention too much to like directors and writers and producers and all that. There are
Mhm.
so many other movie moguls, man, that are into that stuff. They're nerds into that stuff. I just watch movies. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. I mean, I start getting familiar with some of the big names, like Tony Scott, Quentin Tarantino, or that guy that always has to make those weird movies and has to put his long ass name, M. Night Shyamalan, la la la.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
that
yeah.
dude, he always has
Yeah,
to put his name to it.
yeah, Mark,
So, but
yeah.
yeah, but other than that, I just watch movies. I liked it. I liked it. I don't. But once Tarantino or like Scorsese, right? Once their names start getting brought up a little bit more, I'm like, oh, okay, got it, got it, got it. And
Yeah.
I started seeing, a connection, a correlation, man, with the Tarantino movies, and I'm like, wow, you know what? It just seems so raw, so powerful. Even when there's not a lot going on, it just seems really kind of in your face, man. So, um, Robert, when were you aware of like, oh, okay, Quentin Tarantino?
Oh man,
Okay, yeah, we got something going here. So now I'm
bro,
gonna be looking forward to
bro,
Tarantino movies.
no question, bro. After I saw Reservoir Dogs, dude. After I saw Reservoir Dogs, bro, I was just like, dude. I thought Reservoir Dogs was when I left, bro. I thought to myself like, I'd never seen a movie this dope in my life.
Yeah.
It was just
Mm,
I can remember where I saw it. I can remember who I saw with. I'll never forget it, man. There used to be this place in San Jose that kind of showed like the artsy movies or the like movies that weren't being played at your traditional cinemas by the mall. It was called Camera One. It's in San Jose.
Okay.
They had Camera One and a Camera Three, and they were little artsy kind of. I remember the girl I went with it, man. She was kind of like she was kind of different too. You know what I mean? Though, like her little style. And she was like, "Let's go watch this movie." I was like, "What movie?" She was like, "Reservoir Dogs." I'm like, "What are you talking about? Reservoir Dogs?" What? I had no clue, man. But when I went, man, I was just boom. And I started once I saw that movie, I was searching. You know how you're saying like so there's people like get all into this and that. I was watching for his movies like he was an actor. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't wait for his next thing. After Reservoir Dogs, man, dude, everything in Reservoir Dogs to me was just like money, dude. You know what I mean? From the characters not having names, from the opening scene when he's talking about like just something so funny and so random where you got a bunch of gangsters at this table getting ready to do a bunch of gangster stuff, and they're talking about Madonna. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? About like a virgin, like Madonna, and just little things like that, or the main dude talking about like his he's going through his book, Charlie, Tony Chung, and just everything about it was just so awesome. From I don't tip to the smallest violin,
yeah,
to
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
people at McDonald's serve food. Why don't you feel the need to tip them? Just everything that he
Mhm.
talked about, bro, was just like, damn. And then how he went back, different scenes and back and forth. I know he's not the first guy to do it, but to me, he was the first guy who did it where I could follow it. But I was like, oh shit, okay, like yeah, it all made sense to me, man. It was just great, great movie, dude. You know what I mean? So once he did Reservoir Dogs, I was a fan, bro. I was just straight up, what's his next thing? And looking forward to anything that he was doing.
Mhm.
Okay, okay. Hey, Raider Rich, I do want to get to that because I do have a list of his movies right here, and I'm a little surprised on some movies that I don't see on here, even though I know he was involved. We'll get to that in a little bit. Uh, Fred, when
Yes.
was it that you were like, okay, okay, I got it, Quentin Tarantino. Now I
Mhm.
know who it is. Now I know, this movie and that movie. Now I'm gonna start following them. What movie was it for you where you're just like, okay, that's a Quentin Tarantino movie. I'm gonna start following Tarantino from now on.
Yeah. After seeing Pulp Fiction, bro, and then went back to see
Okay.
Red Dogs, and then from there, I just waited for the next one, man. Waiting for the next one to pop up. But I mean, just like Robert was saying too, though, man, all that the dialogue again, the dialogue, and then one thing about, and well, we'll get into it later. I don't want to, start going into it right now so deep. But the other thing too, though, or that I will say about Pulp Fiction that really stood out to me is because John Travolta wears a banana Santa Cruz banana slugs. It's
Yeah.
from Santa Cruz. The
You see
Santa Cruz
something?
Slugs T-shirt. He's wearing it, and I was like, "What the heck?" Like it was just when they hold him down and stuff, he starts wearing a T-shirt. There was a song played by the rebels in the film. It's called "It's titled Comanche." That's played in the iconic scene. I'll say it like this. I don't want to say it on here. Let's just say with the samurai sword scene, right in toward the end with Marcellus Wallace and Bruce Willis, right? the music in that, one of my former coworkers told me, "Hey man," he goes, "You ever see Pulp Fiction?" And I said, "Yeah." And this was a couple of years ago. And I said, "Yes, I have." He says, "Oh," he said, "So you know that song they play in that one scene?" I said, "Yeah." He was the guy from the guy retired. One of the band members retired in King City. In King City, I live in King City, California, south of me. He retired. He lived up there. He bought a house. I think Quentin Tarantino gave him like 50,000, something like that. And he said he goes to his house and he has the plaque in his house and stuff, you know, and signed by, I think signed by Quentin Tarantino or something. That's just a little trivia from Pulp Fiction. Um, Also, remember Raquel? That's with the wolf in the car scene in the when they take the car to from the junkyard, the car. Okay, do you
Oh
guys
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
Do you guys know who the girl is?
Yeah, Julia Sweeney.
Julia Sweeney, Pat, from she was on SNL from 1990 to 1994, and then
Mhm.
she played
Wow.
the gender person that you didn't know if it was a male or female, and they kept it that way. But she is Julia Sweeney, man. So yeah, no, those are little things in the film, that I find ironic. I mean, iconic. But anyways, but that's it, bro. That's it. Yeah, I
Hey,
can get into it, bro. I get into it.
yeah, no, I look, man. I never even knew Tarantino was a director till probably, I don't know, like 2000. Like I said, I don't even really pay attention to that stuff. I kind of just saw him like an actor, just like you were saying, Robert, because I saw him in other movies.
Right.
And then I started, and then now it was the whole thing like, hey, didn't you know Jackie Brown? That's a Tarantino movie. The Kill Bill movies, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs. These are all Tarantino movies, man. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right, cool, man. So I started keeping up with Tarantino movies. Now, here's the thing, and there's something I do want to get into. I looked up Tarantino movies, right?
Mhm.
And there's actually not that many of them as him directing.
Right.
We have
Let's see. Let's see if we
let me
can.
see. All right,
The rest.
let's see if you can name them all. I'll tell you how many there are. There's three, one, two, three, four. There's 12. There's only just a total of 12 movies
That he directed.
You
that he
directed.
directed. That he
Okay, so
directed, not started, directed.
we got to go Reservoir Dogs. We got to go
Okay.
Pulp Fiction. We got to go Jackie Brown. We got to go
Mm.
Kill Bill 1, Kill Bill 2.
Mhm.
We got to go with the Hateful Eight. We
Yeah.
got to go with Django. We got to
Mhm.
go with the Glorious Bastards.
Mhm.
We got to go with Grindhouse.
Mhm.
They got Grindhouse and
Death Proof.
the other one with Kurt Russell.
Death Proof.
Grindhouse.
Yeah, okay, okay.
And then we got that's 10. I'm at 10.
You guys are missing. You guys are missing two. I'm sure you guys will guess one. The other
Desperado.
one, the other one, I've never heard of.
How about
Once upon
Desperado?
a time in Hollywood.
Once
And
upon a time,
there's one before that called Four Rooms.
Desperado.
which
Once upon a time. Desperado.
Desperado's not one.
Once upon a
No,
time
Four
in
no,
Rooms.
Hollywood.
Fred, what is it?
Four Rooms.
And Four Rooms.
I've never heard of that movie.
See, but that's kind of tricky because Four Rooms isn't
But
a
that
Tarantino movie. It's a segment.
Mhm.
It's a movie. It's so you would think that it's four rooms and it's four different directors doing four different movies, doing four different scenes in a movie.
Well, it's like Grindhouse.
They did
okay,
direct.
well, like Grindhouse and Death Proof is like they're kind of combined, but two separate things. Okay, so I've never heard of Four Rooms. So when I looked this up, I'm like, okay, I'm familiar with all these other ones, but Four Rooms, I've never heard of this. So is this an actual Tarantino movie?
No,
Oh,
it's just one scene and it's about 15 minutes long, maybe 20 minutes long. But that scene that's one of the scenes that he took from somebody. He took that from a TV show, an episode from a TV show, and he expanded it. But it was a movie. He made it into a movie, man. Where, as a matter of fact, Peter Nevin, I want to say Steve McQueen was in the TV version of it. It's about some dude who has like a lighter that always lights, and some guy makes a bet with him that it wouldn't light so many times. And the thing is,
Well, okay, all right. Here's what I'll ask you like this: would you recommend it?
just for that scene alone, maybe it was good enough for that scene alone. You know what I mean? Because it's Tarantino. You got Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis is in that scene. The dude who was in Pulp Fiction, the bartender,
Oh
he's
yeah.
in.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, he's in it. Jennifer Beals from Flashdance.
okay,
She's
okay.
in it. So that's a cool scene that adds to like the Quentin Tarantino, mystique. You know what I mean? But it's cool. But like, there's other. You got to realize there's going to be another scene directed by somebody else. I think out of all the scenes in those movies, there was only like two of them that I liked. The other two, I was like, I'm willing to sit through this just to get to Tarantino's part. And of course, they had him at the end.
Okay. Fred, do you recommend Four Rooms?
You know what? I vaguely remember it, bro. So I can't even say I would recommend it. I really can't say I would because I vaguely remember it. So I don't. It's not a movie that I really got into and stuff as far as Tarantino films, anyways.
Okay, well, out of these 12, Robert, man, you did a great job, man. You got 11, and then Fred came in and put the final nail in the coffin with the 12 in the Four Rooms, man. But all right, so out of these 12, all right, um, how would you rank them? I'll start with you, Fred. So you got Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Four Rooms, Jackie Brown, Kill Bill 1 and 2, Grindhouse, Death Proof. They got those separate, even though they came out together. They do have them as two separate ones.
Yeah.
Inglorious Bastards, badass, man. Django, The Hateful Eight, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
You know what, man? I hate to sound cheap about it, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's just perfect, just the way it is, bro. I can't even rank. It's like it's like asking me to choose one of
So,
my
so,
favorite
so wait,
kids.
okay. So the way I named them, that's the way you would put them in order?
The way they came out, is how I would keep them that way.
That's how you would rank them.
Yeah, yeah. That's
So you would have Four Rooms above Jackie Brown, Kill Bill 1 and 2.
no. You're counting. Okay, no. Hold on. Four rooms would probably be no. That would be way at the bottom then.
Okay,
Also,
because then you have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as dead last.
no, it would be Four Rooms would be after Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Actually,
Okay,
you know what? There's another one coming, but we'll discuss that later. We'll discuss.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Robert, how would you rank these suckers, man? Which would
All right.
be like your top three favorite?
Easy. I got it. I got you, man. First and foremost, I got you, man. It's first and foremost, you gotta have Pulp Fiction as number one. Pulp Fiction, man, is just a cinematic masterpiece.
Okay, Fred, do you agree? Pulp Fiction is number one. Do you agree, Fred?
I think it's a masterpiece. Yeah. You know
No,
what?
do you agree that it's number one though?
No, I get. Well, you know what? Oh man, now you got me, brother. Now you got man.
Let's go, Robert. Let's go, Robert. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
go. I
yes,
want
I
to
have to
hear
say
it.
yes.
I go
I
Pulp
have to say
Fiction number
yes.
one, Reservoir Dogs coming up second
Okay.
because it's raw Quentin Tarantino, man. It's his first, all Quentin Tarantino, a band apart. It's their first thing, man. So I go with that. Then I go with Kill Bill 1 and 2 in that order. I think Kill
All
Bill
right.
1 was awesome when they went to the animation. So you're
Mm.
watching the movie, and then all of a sudden it just turns into
Oh,
animation. And you're just thinking to yourself, like, only Quentin Tarantino would do that, dude. I remember watching that movie and just being like, only Quentin, then telling the other person, do you remember? Then somebody say, be quiet, dude. Let's watch the movie, right? So Kill Bill 1 and 2, Jackie Brown. I go Jackie Brown, even though that wasn't his, even though he took that from a book. He
yeah,
adapted the book, right? But
yeah.
still, I'll go Jackie Brown. Then it's close right here. Depending on how I'm feeling or a coin flip, but most of the time I'd go Django Unchained and then Inglorious Bastards. But they're really close with each other. Django and Inglorious Bastards. Then I'd go Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Then I'd go Death Proof, Hateful Eight, and last but not least, the Planet Terror. That's how I would do mine.
Planet Terror is
The
not a Tarantino film.
Which one?
yeah, no,
Planet
Planet
Terror.
Terror, Planet Terror
Grindhouse,
is not in
Grindhouse
here.
one.
No,
The Grindhouse one, the Death Proof.
Okay.
yeah, Grindhouse, yeah, Grindhouse and Death Proof, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was called Grindhouse, but it had Planet
yeah,
Terror and Death Proof.
well, Grindhouse, but the Death
Yeah.
Proof.
Yeah, there you go, there you go. That always got me confused because
Yeah.
they came out together, and you're right, it came out. Yeah, okay. So the name of it all is Grindhouse, and it's
Grindhouse.
Planet of Terror and Death
Yep.
Proof. Yeah, it's
Yep.
yeah.
So I think the last one would be I think Hateful Eight is my least favorite out of all of them. I think it's a great movie. It's a great movie to be my least favorite because I could watch it all the time. But I just think I like the characters in the Death Proof. I like the characters. I like how it's the 70s and sometimes you're watching it and like the film gets caught. And you know what I mean? It's just awesome, man. Kurt Russell's so cool in that movie. You know what I mean?
You know what? Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was going to
go
mention,
for it,
I
Robert.
saw that at the movies. I saw those movies, both of those, the Grindhouse movie, which is how I got my artist name, but I added the THA in front of it. But anyhow,
Yeah.
I saw it at the movies, and I remember sitting down. I'm gonna tell you guys something. I used to go to movies way back in the day, the old theaters when you sat down and people could smoke inside the theater. It smelled like popcorn and
That's
cigarettes.
great. That is great.
And once in a while, you get a smell of some other stuff, or you'd hear a beer open up or something, It was those old school, and you could sit there all day long. What was really iconic to me about that Grindhouse film was when I went. My family and I, we went and we sat down and we saw the first one, and then some people in the theater got up and walked out. Now I'm like, wait a minute, but it cut into the trailers. And all the trailers were fake, which later went on to become films, some of them. And then the next movie started, and it was so reminiscent of sitting in the theater, the pops and the film getting caught and all this stuff, man. It was just awesome, dude, to see in the theater. I had a great experience again. It took me back. I would actually love to go see that again in the theater and sit with a bunch of friends and just, old school stuff, man.
But they gotta allow smoking though, so you could really reminisce in there.
And stuff.
Hey, so let me rate these. Okay, for me, all right. I'm having a little bit of a tough time, Robert. You seem like you were on it. Okay, Four Rooms. I've never seen it, never heard of it, so I'm gonna put that sucker dead last. All right, because I've never seen it. I've never heard of it till just today, just looking up Tarantino movies. But I do want to get to all the other movies that he was involved in because I think we got some classics there too. All right, so you know what, man? I'm gonna go Reservoir Dogs #1. With so little happening in that movie, so much happened in that movie. It was just pure, just storytelling. Like it is one of the craziest things. Sometimes like, hey, bigger is better. Not in this case, man. There were just the simplest, smallest things. Just the dialogues, the back and forth, just edge of your seat, just every single word. And it's like, not a lot is happening on the screen, but gosh, a lot is happening in the story where I'm just like, trying to digest everything. So I gotta go Reservoir Dogs #1.
The Reservoir Dogs, by the way.
What's that?
Who's your favorite character in Reservoir Dogs? Who's the one that you were just like
Mr. Blonde, man. Mr. Blonde.
Mr. Blonde? Okay.
Mr. Blonde.
Mr. Blonde and Mr. Pink is kind of because Mr. Pink was kind of cool too. Mr. Pink somewhat became a hero of mine because he doesn't believe in tipping. So he's a little bit of a hero of mine because I'm against tipping. I know that is a waste. Like, no, they already. I'm not gonna get all into it here, but he became a little bit of my hero. But I'll go Reservoir Dogs 1.
believe it or not, gentlemen, and this might be blasphemy, but
Oh,
I'm gonna go Jackie Brown too above Pulp Fiction.
wow.
I Man, I don't know why, man. Pam Grier was so damn sexy to me in that
Oh,
movie.
Yeah.
Gosh, she was so sexy. When people say like, "Hey, what's some of the finest women in movies?" Nobody will ever bring up Pam Grier, but in that role, in that movie, I don't know why, man. And it's not like she was wearing like something very
no, no.
seductive or anything like
Oh,
that. No, she wasn't. She was wearing no, she was wearing a like a stewardess outfit,
His outfit is
but
regular clothing. Yeah.
she just seemed very, very sexy to me. But I'm gonna go with that one. Then I'll go Pulp Fiction.
mm.
Um, I'm gonna go with. Gosh, man, this one's tough. I'll probably go with Inglorious Bastards.
Glorious
After
bastard.
that, Inglorious Bastards, it was just so raw.
Yeah.
So when Brad Pitt's all like, the man wants to die for his country. Let's oblige by him. The dude comes out with a baseball bat and kills him.
Oh, no, that's
It
great.
was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
By the way, Brad Pitt did
Gosh,
a great Italian accent in that movie.
Oh, the
look, check this out, man. Yeah, I just, I know, I see you guys in the comments, man. I mean, there's really, you could swap it with Pulp Fiction and Jackie Brown or not. That's fine. I'm not gonna have any big argument.
yeah.
Um, man, look, unlike most people, I really loved Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I love Django Unchained as well. I'm having a tough time with those two movies on which one goes next. If I had to choose one, I'll probably go with Django. Then I'll go with probably Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Then I'll go with the Kill Bill 1 and 2. Um, Vivica Fox in part one. I like that, man.
Right, right. She was
Uh,
hot.
How about
the
She was
the
hot.
hate look the Hateful Eight. I guess I'll throw that afterwards. The Grindhouse movies, I'll be real with you guys, man. I don't know. It didn't really do too much for me. I was just kind of like, all right. I mean, I thought it was cool, but I thought it was just like, all right, it's cool,
yeah.
But it wasn't, to me, it didn't match up what these other movies did, man. It didn't match up to a Pulp Fiction. It didn't match up to a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or Django. It didn't match up to any
Well,
of these. So,
you know what? If I can interrupt real quick, Ron, and I get what you're saying. The dialogue is still good in there. If you look at the scene where the girls are at the table and they're talking about, oh, Gone in 60 Seconds. They were not the remake with Nicolas Cage. It was the original, and then Vantage Point, and what was it? There was the third film in there. God darn it, I had these movies too. But anyway, when they're talking about that, but if you really think about it, and I'm not just saying that in defense of that, but Quentin Tarantino, it wasn't so much as it was a Quentin Tarantino film, but it was him in an attempt to make a film that retro the '70s in a sense. So
mm,
it wasn't really it wasn't a Pulp Fiction or Django Unchained. It was more of a film that retro heavily in the '70s how films were made. So that's
There,
really
there's you're just cool, man. I think that's a respectable list. You know what I mean?
mm.
Coming from guys. Ed, you got to remember, man. Besides being cool, he does things like this every once in a while,
yeah.
right?
I know it's coming. I know it's coming.
He's a Rocky Five guy. So putting Jackie Brown ahead of Pulp Fiction, I could see him doing that. The only reason Jackie Brown isn't is because he adapted it from a book. It wasn't his
Yeah.
thing. You know what I mean? That's the only reason I got Jackie. Jackie Brown is dope.
Oh, but let me ask you this though, Robert. Let me ask you this: if we didn't know anything about the book,
Okay.
and that was his movie, because you're 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 looking at it through different lenses.
Right, right,
Okay,
right.
I'm just saying, just the movie. Forget that there was a book involved, man. I mean, the Robert De Niro character. I mean, how
Lewis,
what? what's her face? What's her face? Just wanting to smash on him, like
Bridget
you want to
Fonda.
have sex, and he's like,
Bridget Fonda.
who? Bridget Fonda, right? And then he ends up killing her in the parking lot. Samuel L. Jackson's character.
Right.
You know, people forget that Chris Tucker was in that movie, man. Not for a long time, but he was. And look, I don't have a big argument. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you guys this. I don't really have any argument on Pulp Fiction and Jackie Brown. It's just that they're both, to me, they're like that. I'll just put Jackie Brown first over Pulp Fiction, probably because I've seen Pulp Fiction many more times.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed Jackie Brown. I really did, man.
Yeah,
Great
Jackie Brown was cool, but just Pulp Fiction is just so iconic, man. There's just so many scenes that I could point to where I'm just like, remember this or remember that. But I'll tell you the thing about Tarantino, man, that I appreciate, that I like. He always does something little in his movies that if you watch him over and over again, you think to yourself like, oh, that's, he did that because of this, or he gives you little things, you know what I mean? Like we've all seen Django Unchained, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's a scene in the movie where there's two guys wrestling and one of them loses, and a Spanish guy is the one who's the loser, and he goes to the bar, and then Django goes next to the guy, and the guy's like, looks like a Latin guy, like a Spanish guy or something.
Oh, yeah.
And he tells them, the Spanish guy asks Django, what's his name? And he says, the name's Django.
Yeah.
And he's like, spell it. And he's like, D-J-A-N-G-O. And he goes, the D is silent. And the guy looks at him and he goes, I know that. And I always wondered, like, how did he know that? He played the original Django. There was a movie called Django before Django.
Yeah.
And that guy, I didn't know that.
And that guy was the original Django. Tarantino brought him back probably just for that scene. And he just looked at him and was like all offended, like, I know how to spell it. I was the original, basically. You don't got to tell me how to spell it. He just does things like that. And I'm like, dude, only Tarantino would do something like that, man.
That was cool.
Something to appreciate more now, man. Raider Rich is saying that nothing that Tarantino did was original. I've heard that from a few people. I don't know if it's true or not. Hey, that's a good question right there. If we can be in any of Tarantino's movies, which one would you choose, Fred?
Which one would I choose? Well, you know what? Let me back up a little bit. Let me back up real quick, just because I feel I didn't close this right. The reason I chose my list the way I did is because I feel it builds up to the Quentin Tarantino style, bro, and I'm happy with it. Except for the 4 rooms, of course, but I'm happy with it. But if I could be in any Quentin Tarantino film, you know what? I think it would be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's a movie within a movie, It's a movie within a movie, bro. Like the scene in the part where, and I saw that at the theater as well. And I remember I was watching it, and for like 20 minutes, you get into it and you think it's a Western. Hey, what's my line again? Like, it was like, what the heck? Like, it's just awesome film, bro. Awesome film about a star that's falling from grace, man. And I would love, probably that would be the one to be
a part of.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Robert. If you could choose to be in any one of these movies, which one would it be?
I'd like to be the third dude hanging out with Travolta and Samuel Jackson, dude. Just my black suit and my black tie, rolling up to somebody's house. Is it time? No. Just everything. We're going to breakfast with them, getting all these little adventures with them, bro. You know what I mean?
So you got the black guy, you got the white guy, and now you got the Chicano guy. There's 3 dudes. Got you.
And to make a film.
You know what I mean? I would like to have met the Wolf. Remember when they were cleaning up the car and everything? And Samuel L. Jackson's explaining to John Travolta, he's like, we got to be. And I love how Quentin Tarantino puts himself in movies. You know, a lot of people don't understand that he wanted to be an actor.
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino wanted to be an actor. He couldn't get parts. He wrote himself masterpiece movies, bro. You know, there's actually I've seen a scene, and it's so funny, where he's playing Elvis in an episode of The Golden Girls, Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
So he wanted to be an actor. He was trying to be an actor. Who would have known that he was going to be one of the world's greatest writers of our generation? But he wanted to be. He wanted to be. So I like how he puts himself into little movies, bro. How from Pulp Fiction, he was in Reservoir Dogs. He was in Desperado. You know what I mean? He was in a book. You know, it's just he's dope, dude. He's. I would have just. That's me, bro. I'm riding shotgun. I'm listening to Jungle Boogie. I'm hearing about the guy scratching his car, pissed off about it. You know what I mean? Dude.
That within itself is something else about this car scratching and stuff. It was Bruce Willis, right? You know that, right? The Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis was the one that keyed his car in Pulp Fiction. Because remember when they kind of talked, they had that little dialogue. He went outside. He keyed his car. That's why if you put it together, that's what it is. But you know what? I'm gonna do something right now, bro. I'm gonna put this in the universe out there. Hopefully, Quentin Tarantino hears this. Make a retro film of off characters from Pulp Fiction and hire my man Robert as Tony Rocky Horror, bro. And Tony Rocky.
Yeah, that'd be good, man. That'd be good. You know, hey, look, fellas, for me, it would definitely be Reservoir Dogs, man. If I could just be another character. Hey, look, even if I was one of the guys that died before they even made it to the warehouse, Tarantino did. Tarantino was one of the hijack guys that were going to go rob with them and did, and he died, right? Even though I was one of those guys, right? But if I was just one of the guys that was there, dog, just, you know, I don't know, I get killed at the end or whatever, that's fine. But Reservoir Dogs, just to have been there, would have been pretty cool. Hey, gentlemen, let's get into some of the movies, because these are movies that he directed. So these are his movies. But there's a lot more other movies that I'm a big fan of, and I thought those were his movies. But apparently they're not, because I know I've seen them in so many other movies.
So can I interrupt you real quick?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
To those movies, I also got to say this, bro. If there's one thing about any Tarantino film, it's not just the dialogue, bro. It's the food in the movie, bro. The cigarettes, the drinks. He makes them look so good.
I mean, just everything. The dialogue, everything is so raw. And I mean, when I see these movies, right? Okay, so we're talking about True Romance. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Fred. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get you off.
That was really it. That was really it. It's just even when they're smoking the red apple cigarettes, you're like, oh, and it's not. And this is what I mean. Why I keep it in order. Because if you look at the after credits on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio was like, this thing's awful, you know. But the whole time, it's a gag within a gag. Because the whole time you've seen all the other Quentin Tarantino movies of red apple cigarettes, they look awesome. Even in Pulp Fiction, like, you know, you got another one of those cowboy, and you know, like, it just, dude, it's just the Big Kahuna burger. Okay, Pulp Fiction. Even the coffee, dude. When they're talking about the coffee, he goes, "See, when I like my coffee, I like to taste it." You know, he has a big old dialogue.
Yes.
The wolf comes in. He goes, "Hey, you know, lots of sugar, you know, whatever, you know." And he gives it to him, and then after they had this big old argument about the coffee, right? And then when the wolf comes, and he gives him the coffee, and then he takes, you know, he takes a sip from it, and then goes, like, hey, like, you know, it just makes you want, man, I want to try that, like, whatever it was, you know. But he never discloses what it is. Discloses what it is. But
he has the best dialogue. You're right.
Yeah, dog. I mean, like even like in the like in Pulp Fiction, even the whole scene with the gimp and everything. Like, who the heck would have brought that up? You know what I mean? Like, you got the gimp. That was so. You know that was so great. The Simpsons actually made kind of a parody of that of Pulp Fiction right there, where like there's so many things going on in Springfield. and then they have like their own little version of that scene right there. It's the guy that only has one arm. He runs a freaking like military shop. He has Snake and
Yeah.
freaking Chief Wiggum in the back, and it's like this is just like the scene from Pulp Fiction. But check this
Now,
out, gentlemen, because there's some badass movies right here. Okay, we talk about True Romance. Okay, Natural Born Killers, man.
Natural Born Killers.
I saw that movie in theaters.
So,
Natural Born Killers. Good
not
gosh, what a
not
classic.
Natural Born Killers at all. That was a
No.
movie, bro. No. As a matter of fact, that was Oliver Stone who directed it.
Yes.
So there was, as a matter of fact, Natural Born Killers is one of the reasons Quentin Tarantino said that he was going to direct, that he wasn't going to sell scripts
Yes.
like before because he didn't like how Oliver Stone, that wasn't the vision for his movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
So, and for some reason, I don't know what it was, man. I didn't buy into Natural Born Killers, man. As a matter of fact, during that time, I started seeing like to myself like a bunch of people trying to make, I call them Quentin Tarantino-ish movies. Like dudes trying to
Okay.
like his style, bro. Like all of a sudden there's Things to Do When You're Dead in Denver, 2 Days in the Valley. You know, just movies that are like, man, these are cool, but you're trying to be like Tarantino. And I thought Oliver Stone was trying to capture something that Tarantino had by buying that script and then directing it. Man, I just didn't buy into it, man. I know a lot of people like it. You know what I mean? I know this should have been my underrated, overrated movie that we did a couple weeks ago, but I never bought into Natural Born Killers, bro. There's just something about it.
Fred, what's your thoughts on Natural Born Killers?
I loved it, bro. I loved it, but I do understand where Tarantino went with it. Tarantino was trying to make basically again like a '70s retro type film about a couple, you know, and he had said that he didn't like the sitcom, thing they put into it. All the
Yeah.
they start slowing things down and getting all crazy a little bit, whatever. But um, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it is. Do I think had Tarantino not sold it? I think it still would. I'll say this. I think it would have been 10 times better. Yeah, honestly, say
Okay, I'm with you.
you know.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Like it's such a raw movie where it's all up in your face, where you can't forget it, right? Mickey and Mallory, and I thought Woody Harrelson and
Jennifer
shoot,
Lewis,
what's one girl's name?
Uh,
Um,
Lewis,
Julia Lewis, or something like that,
Juliette
right?
Lewis. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, man, why do I forget her name? Yeah, I thought they did a great job. Going back and killing her parents, and all that stuff was just kick ass. But had Tarantino been the one, man, to direct that movie, I'm with you, Fred. I think it would have been 1,000 times better. And Desperado, he was involved in Desperado. Again, not a movie he directed. From Dusk Till Dawn, I thought that was one of his. I thought Desperado and Dusk Till Dawn. Just till right now that we started doing this, and I started looking it up, I'm like, wait a second, Dusk
Robert,
Till Dawn and
That's right.
Desperado, those aren't his movies. I'm like,
Robert,
wow, I was blown away, man.
well, Desperado is part two to El Mariachi, or yeah,
Yes.
part
Yeah,
three.
El Mariachi,
Yeah, El Mariachi, and then Desperado.
which was a horrible movie, dog.
Yeah, it gets a lot of love out there, and it was you know
Well,
what I
Well,
you
mean. It gets a lot.
okay, wait, which one, El Mariachi or Desperado?
El
Mariachi.
Mariachi. El
I don't
Mariachi.
hear a lot of love. I don't hear a lot of love for El Mariachi. As a matter of fact, I don't even hear anybody bring it up.
I remember when Desperado was coming, it won an award somewhere. Robert Rodriguez got that's why he was able to get this big budget movie, Desperado, bro, with Salma Hayek, with Antonio Banderas, with all these real actors, because that movie did well like at a festival, and it started getting like, hey, Robert Rodriguez is like an up and coming dude, and that's why the studio gave him money for a big budget movie like Desperado because of
Did
the
you like? Did you like Desperado?
Oh, bro, that's
Did
what I was. Bro, that was the first time I fell in love with Salma Hayek that night at the movies, bro. That was one of
Okay.
those times I was at the movies where I remember her walking, and every dude in the theater was like, "Ooh, like who is she, bro?" She was,
Uh,
dude. She was so hot. Salma, if you're out there looking, watching, she was amazing, bro. She was so beautiful in that movie, dude. I fell in love with her in that movie, dude. You know what I mean?
The accent and everything, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Hey, Rob, Fred, did you like Desperado?
Yeah, but I also like the mariachi too. And then there's Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Yeah,
What the third one? Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well, they deal with the death. He's already
Look, okay, I'll be real with you guys. First of all, Mariachi sucks. I don't like that movie, man. Okay, Desperado. Oh man. All right, I thought it was gonna be much better. Okay, I
Mhm.
thought it was gonna be great. When I remember seeing the previews to it, I'm like, oh man, gotta go to the movies to go watch that one. And I came out a little disappointed, man. I was like, man, I mean, the look, the scene with Quentin Tarantino at the bar talking to Cheech Marin and all that stuff. I thought that was like the best scene in the movie, right?
yeah.
After that, I'm with you, Robert. I'm with you with the whole Selma Hayek thing. But after that, I don't know, man. It kind of got it. Not that it lost me, but I'm like,
For
ah,
sure.
man.
For-
It's all right, but
Yeah.
it's kind of cool him doing the shoot like
Yeah.
pa and behind his back and all that stuff. It was okay. It didn't really blow me away much, but I mean, people love it.
I it has a special place in my heart though. The mariachi does for me, because I
And
saw my mom and I we sat down to watch that. God rest her soul. And when I would have like barbecues at the house and stuff, I would do it on purpose. I'd grab a beer because there's in the mariachi, right? That dude Azul, remember the guy Azul, the heavy set guy with the curly hair and the little mustache. He was
yes,
a badass dude, right? And every time he went to the bar, he would and my mom would do this on purpose. I would do this to my mom on purpose. She goes, hey, I'd be having a little barbecue get together at the house, and I would open up a Corona, right? And I'd get a glass on purpose, and I'd go like that, and my mom would go, hey, en botella, wait. They say that on the movie, dude. So that's why
yeah,
it was
okay,
hard.
okay.
But
I
that's it.
got you.
That's it. That's it, really. Other than that, that's
I
it.
got you.
Yeah.
I want
Again, I thought this movie was a Tarantino movie, but it's not. From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah. I thought Dust Till Dawn. I thought was but he was maybe people because he was in it.
yeah, he,
Yeah,
He had a
you
good
know,
role. Yeah.
you know,
But Ed, what else? What else do you have? So you got True Romance on the
you
list.
got
Natural
you got
Born Killers. What else?
yeah.
Natural Born Killers, Crimson Tide.
Crimson
Um,
Tide? The movie.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, the movie with Denzel.
With Gene Hackman and Denzel. Yeah,
He
Really?
wrote that movie.
No.
he's not. I don't think he's in it. I don't know. It has it on here that he was involved some way somehow. Um,
Yeah.
That one.
which is a great movie, but I don't know how he was involved in it. I mean, he was involved with a lot of movies that I see on here. I don't know how he connects to a lot of these movies. He was in like one of the Muppet movies, Little Nicky with Adam Sandler. He was in that, or not in it. He was just involved with it somehow.
Wow.
But when I'm talking about Tarantino movies that I really believed that these were his movies. Desperado definitely I thought was one of his movies. From Dusk Till Dawn, I thought really was his movie, man, but it's not. And I like From Dusk Till Dawn. But I will tell you guys this. That's another one that I thought was going to be a little bit better than what it really was. When I saw the previews to it, the trailer, I'm like, damn, this looks kick ass, man. So you got two thieves, badass mofos with guns, and they are surrounded by vampires. And then I saw it, and then I saw it, and I'm like, I thought the movie was great until the whole vampire thing started really coming out. The lead up to all that I thought was just badass, man. I mean, Quentin Tarantino played like this psycho brother. What he did to the chick that they had kidnapped, right?
Yes.
Like they get a room, and then freaking
George Clooney.
uh, George Clooney goes. I forgot where he goes. He comes back. He's all like, "Where's the girl?" Oh, oh, she's in the room. He goes in there and he's like, "Richie, what the hell's the matter with you?" Like, he was like, the whole lead up with that, man, them kidnapping the family, all that stuff was great. Cheech Marin playing like 3, 4 different roles in that movie. All
You
that stuff was badass. But what, Selma Hayek? You want to talk about Selma Hayek? Good gosh, man! I mean, there it is, right there.
Oh my
But,
goodness.
but once everybody turned vampire, and then they go lock themselves in the room. That to me, the movie just kind of like, it
Okay.
just splattered on the ground.
Okay.
Talk to
I
me,
get
Robert.
it.
What's your thoughts?
Uh,
Go for it, Robert. What's your thoughts?
on Desperado.
No, on from Dusk Till Dawn.
On Dust Till Dawn. Dust Till Dawn was cool, man. Like I said, you know it was one of those ones, man, where I don't know if it's because I like him so much. I'm not a big George Clooney fan, first of all. So, when I saw George Clooney being badass with the tattoo and, Ramblers just get rambling, the line they stole from, Reservoir Dogs, right?
Mm.
I didn't buy him as that character. I just didn't. You know what I mean? So,
Wait a second, man. You said George Clooney is your favorite Batman of all time.
no, I never said that. I never said that. I never said that. Michael Keaton. You know that was Michael Keaton?
Oh, okay, so you didn't buy. Okay, so you didn't buy George Clooney as this badass as like a thief.
Nah, but it was cool. There was some cool scenes in that movie. You know what I mean? I like Los Lobos was in there. You know what I mean?
Mm,
I thought it was cool. When it turned into vampire, it threw me. Just like everybody
okay.
else, it was like, what? We're a vampire movie now? But hey, man, it is what it is, man. It was a movie. I wasn't thinking it was gonna be, you know, gonna be that all that. But like I said, I watched it. It entertained me. Is it on my list? No, it's not on my list. You know what I mean?
It could have been. I thought it could have been so much better. Okay, when they because the vampires look so weird, man. Outside of Selma Hayek and Danny Trejo Machete,
Yeah,
the vampires look so weird, so off, so goofy, I just
yeah,
but the movie leading up to all that, I thought it was great. I thought it reminded me of a Tarantino movie. I'm like, this is bad, man. I'm liking this. I'm liking that. Tarantino has this thing for the daughter, and he's thinking that he's like imagining that she's saying something to him sexually, and
yeah.
he's all like, huh? Like what? And then, and then he's all like, "Were you serious of what you said to me back there?" And she's all like, "What? What did I say? You know what you said to me back there?" She's all like, What did I say?" Like he was just nuts, man. And then them at the border, he's all like, "As long as you don't act like an effing nut." What's that supposed to mean? That,
oh yeah,
that just meant be cool. Well, yeah, what is that supposed to mean? Hey, man, be cool. Hey, man, screw those big pigs, man. What the hell? Sit by here and knock them out because they're about to get cut. It was great. Fred, what's your thoughts about From Dusk Till Dawn? And did you know that this wasn't a Tarantino movie? I didn't.
I know Robert Rodriguez, bro. And then you know what? That scene with the daughter, like what you just explained right now, was awesome to me. 'Cause he's a creepy guy. He's
Yeah,
actually Tarantino's
yeah.
creepy hell in there. And then he knocks him out, right? And then when he wakes up in Mexico, he goes, "Oh, what happened? Well, you fainted." He's the one that hit him. But anyhow, you know what? I liked it. I agree that because you don't really know where it's going. When George, and I will say this, I thought George Clooney did a good role as far as like the leader. He felt like uh, he knew like he wasn't a doing this. He was already, he was a criminal, man. He convinced me on that part. The vampire stuff. Um, I hate Tarantino on the part that Salma Hayek put her foot in his mouth and stuff, and I was like,
Mm.
he let down her leg or something. I'm like, dude, but overall, you know what? I didn't think it was that bad, to be honest with you. I actually like the and what okay, some people haven't seen it, which I doubt. I think I thought was awesome when the camera pans back and there's actually a pyramid underneath, you know, behind
But-
the actual ball stuff. There's a pyramid in the back. I don't know if you guys remember that.
oh, yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. And so at the end of the movie, right? Because it's just supposed to be like this barn, but at the
Yeah,
end of the movie, there's a
So,
cliff and it's a big pyramid that goes all the way down. Yeah, yeah. That was cool. That was cool. I
so
like that part.
I think it worked out well. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it is. I mean, yeah,
right.
that was really, but I did.
Yeah. It was,
I don't, I don't know if you guys have heard this or if you guys know about this, but you know that they're going to be doing a sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
No, I didn't know about that.
I mean,
I didn't not
it's
know
coming
that.
out. It's it is written by Tarantino, but somebody else is going to direct it. And
Nah.
they already got Brad Pitt involved. It's going to be about Cliff. It's going to be about Cliff Booth.
Oh yeah, the show. Yeah, I have heard about that. It's about the
Yeah.
stuntman. Yeah.
So it's going to be about Cliff Booth. They're trying to get Leonardo DiCaprio back on as Rick Dalton. I just saw this the other day, man. I was, so there's going to be something else by Tarantino coming real quick. You know what I mean? There was another movie that he was supposed to have come out called like The Critic.
Yeah.
That he panned, that he just, I guess he didn't like it. That he said that, he's not going to do it. But it's supposedly they got this thing going on with, I want to say Netflix, where it's going to be Brad Pitt is going to be Rick Dalton, and Quentin Tarantino's already signed off on it. I forget who's going to direct it. If somebody got a computer by them, you can check it out. But it's coming soon. It's coming soon. So I'm interested to see how that looks. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping that he does some more stuff, man. You know what I mean? I think for him to limit himself to like a couple, this is 11 movies or so and so movies, I'm done, man. Keep on going, man. He develops characters, man, like no other, man. I would like to see a sequel to like Kill Bill. I would like to see a Kill Bill 3. You know what I mean? Something new.
Okay.
I would like to see that, man. You can't have a Inglourious Bastard sequel, right? We know who won the war, right? So I would like to see something about the Vega brothers or expand on something like that. Shit, I'd like to see a movie.
You could do Inglourious Bastards Part 2. Just move it to a different war.
Yeah.
Have it do it Vietnam time or something.
I would like to see him develop a movie with Pai Mei, the badass little dude who was in Kill Bill. Just stuff like that, man. I think he's got so many things that he can do.
Yeah, so 2019 was his last movie, and that's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I got to tell you guys, man, Leonardo DiCaprio has to go down as one of the best actors ever, man. That dude is just solid in any role that you put him in. Damn, that guy knows how to act.
I like Leonardo DiCaprio, man. You're absolutely right, bro. I don't know if you've ever seen The Basketball Diaries.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
I'll tell you what. I've never took in heroin or anything like that. But watching him, bro, he looked like that's what it would be like. Bro, he played that role so good, bro. I was like, man, this kid could act. You know what I mean? He's a phenomenal actor, bro. Leonardo DiCaprio. Do you think he's underrated? I don't think.
I mean, if anybody asks me who's the best actor I've ever seen, I'm not talking about best movies.
Right.
That's a different question. But we're talking about acting, just acting ability. I'm probably gonna mention him, man.
He's a great actor.
I'm probably just gonna mention him. I've never seen him play a bad role. I've seen him in bad movies.
Okay.
But I've never seen him in a role where it's like, yeah, he's not good for this role. Like, no, every role that he's played, like the J. Edgar movie, I thought that movie was horrible. But him acting in it did a great job. The movie Blood Diamond, where he had to have this accent, kicked ass in that movie. The Wolf of Wall Street, son of a gun, man. I mean, come on. You want to talk about acting?
Right.
This dude can act. Like goodness gracious. He Django
He's
Unchained.
amazing, Django.
Dude, can you imagine this dude? So when
Yeah,
somebody asks me, "Hey, who do you think is the best actor?" His name's definitely on somewhere in that list, somewhere in the conversation for dang sure.
I agree. He's an amazing actor. He was awesome in Django. You know what I mean? I heard that he had a hard time in the beginning of the movie saying
Oh,
the N word too much, and
Right.
that the Samuel L. Jackson and Jamie Foxx pulled him to the side and was like, "Hey, dude, get over it. It's part of the movie." And that he actually had to separate himself from those two guys for the rest
yeah.
of the shoot.
Mhm.
He said in the beginning they were hanging out, and he just couldn't do it. But once he's separate, and Jamie Foxx is a clown, dude. So he goes, man, once he's separated, he was saying that word like it was, But let me ask you this, man. I know it's your show, but let me ask you a question, man, just because it ain't my thing, man. Do you feel that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood captured your city and like your LA area? You know what I mean? Because I know LA, right? But
Yeah.
just places I go to and the movies. That's how I know Los Angeles. I've gone places in LA, but I wouldn't know where to go on a random Tuesday night. Or you do. You've been all over up and down that area. When you saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, were you like, all right, they caught the feel of LA back in the day? I know it predates you a little bit, but just certain things
Yes.
you saw, or did it remind you of LA? Did it remind you of your home city?
Okay. Okay. So definitely before my time, there is like a chasm when it comes to Los Angeles. There is definitely that side of Los Angeles where you could live your entire life in LA and not know that side, know the side of, the Hollywood side. And, you know, um, I was talking to somebody who is born and raised, still lives in LA, right? And they didn't know where Woodland Hills was at. West Hills and Encino and Chatsworth and all that area over there. Because yeah, you could go your entire life. Like it's almost like a little different world. So I would
Yes.
say okay, does that capture the Los Angeles that I know? No, it doesn't. But does it capture that part of Los Angeles? Yes, it does. It's basically like the movie with Johnny Depp, where he's the drug smuggler. What's the name of that movie? Ray
Blow,
Liotta is his dad. What
blow,
is it?
blow.
Blow. Okay, Blow. Okay, so they're living in L.A. Right? He moves to L.A. right with his buddy, and they're at the beach. They're in Santa Monica. They're living it up, and it's like okay, they're capturing that part. That's not the LA I know. I don't know the beach and all that stuff, but I'm sure living there, they're capturing what is LA, on that side of town. It's a lot of blondes, it's a lot of beach life, it's a lot of this, it's a lot of that. So if you're talking about Hollywood, yeah, I guess they captured it pretty well, but for a lot of people, that's not the LA that they know.
So when you see like Tarantino movies and like I remember like passing by it, and the only reason I knew about it when I was going down south, it was because it was from a Tarantino movie. I could remember him talking to Vincent after they shot Marvin, and they didn't know where to go, and they were like, "Let's go to Jimmy's house. He lives in Toluca Lake."
Right.
Yeah.
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 Bro, when I was like Toluca Lake, and he's like, "I don't know anybody else in whatever the area code is." He's like, "If he's not there, I don't know anybody else in the area code." And he said the area code, but I remember when I was driving in LA one time, and I was passing Toluca Lake, I was like, "Oh shit, this is Toluca Lake." Or when he's in Jackie Brown, and he talks about the city of industry.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yes.
He
Yes.
mentioned so many
Yes.
things. And like I said, that's how I know LA. I don't know these
Right.
cities unless I pass through them. But I'm never gonna. I didn't set out to go to Toluca Lake. I just remember we were
Right.
driving somewhere. And we passed. It was like, so when you see it, does it give you like, or does it happen so much to you, man, because you're in the movies all the time? Because they never
Okay.
mention Sam in
Okay.
the movies.
Right. Okay. So like City of Industry, yes, I know City of Industry. I've been there many times.
What
But
is
like
it?
I'm saying, that what is it? It's
Is it
it's,
like a little
it's
city? Is it a little? Is it
no,
right by
no,
it?
no. It's part of Los Angeles County. It's in the San Gabriel Valley. It's by La Puente.
Okay.
It's that area. But you see, that's why I'm saying, like, somebody who lives in industry may never have been to Toluca Lake, like
Okay.
Toluca Lake, like that, all that side over there, man. Like I was saying, West Hills, Encino, Chatsworth, Northridge, like all those areas. Look, honestly, I'll just put it out there. It's a lot of white people.
Okay.
It's a lot more white people out there in that area of Los Angeles. I'm not saying it's all white, but there's a lot more white people over there than your Baldwin Parks, El Monte, Pico Rivera, East LA. It's
Well,
different sides of Los Angeles.
One last question, Fred.
Fred from West Covina.
I'm trying to monopolize this, Fred. So one last question I got: where's the Delano Mall?
Delano Mall.
Remember, it was when they were in Jackie Brown. They went to that big mall, and that's where they set everything up. That's where he killed Bridget Fonda.
Oh, out in the parking lot. You know
Right.
what? Let me see. Where is that mall? I don't think I've ever even heard of that mall.
Is it
And
Delano?
until that movie.
Right.
locations and stuff of the movies, and you know what? Wow, he looks it up. Once upon a time in Hollywood, bro. That's probably why I would rather be. That'd be the film I want to be in because he didn't use green screens. They actually changed a lot of stuff just to make it look retro.
I'll
So
tell you what.
it was
When I saw the carnation milk,
oh yes,
that was
right?
so cool to see the carnation milk and to see the old school Taco Bell.
Yeah, dude, yes. See, that kind of stuff, bro. That even the drive-in stuff
But
like
those are the things he doesn't miss, bro.
yeah.
You, Tarantino doesn't. He's not gonna miss on that. He's not gonna be drinking a milk that people drink today.
No, yeah,
It's
no, definitely, bro.
yes,
It's a different time, you know. He really brought it back.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you know what? I can't find it. Yeah, I don't know where. See, that's over there. That's got to be on the other side. Um,
Was it the
yeah, I
Delano?
can't. I can't even find it. No, I remember. I don't remember the name of the mall that they used, but yeah, I remember that scene for sure.
Yeah. Remember
Great
they had
scene.
that's where they met. Him and that's where Robert Forster went to the movies, and he was coming out of the movies, and he saw her at the food court, and yeah,
That's why Samuel L. Jackson kills Robert De Niro,
yeah.
because it's like he got too suspicious with them. It's like, wait a second, you saw him and you didn't say anything, and you killed homegirl.
yeah,
Why don't you just punch her in the face or something like that?
yeah.
Uh, but no, great movies all the way around, man. But so, Robert, just to end it, what's your favorite Tarantino movie?
Favorite Tarantino movie would have to be Pulp. Have to be Pulp
Okay.
Fiction. Like I said, with Reservoir Dogs, creeping up on it, man. But just again, man, not to overstate everything. Well, he's so meticulous on his character development, little things that he just doesn't miss, bro, in movies. That another, he
Yes.
just he's exact, bro. You know what I mean? Just the dude I think is the best screenwriter of my generation. Straight up.
Wow.
There's some other dudes who wrote some good movies. I know the guy who wrote Boogie Nights. He's wrote a couple good movies. What's his name? Ian Anderson or
What
something.
what about Scorsese?
Scorsese's not of my generation.
Okay.
So Scorsese, I think he's like the Scorsese of my generation. Like people can't wait for his movie to come out.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And back then, Scorsese was doing what? The Deer Hunter, The Godfathers. He was. They couldn't wait for his movie to come out, man. But before I close, I want to say something because I saw it in the comments, and I've heard this before, where they say that Tarantino steals a lot from other people, or he takes a lot, other movie ideas and everything. Man, have you ever seen that movie Swingers?
Sounds familiar. I don't know if I've seen her or not. I don't
It's
know where
with
Fred took off to.
it's with Vince Vaughn, a young Vince Vaughn, and what's the dude Vince Vaughn's best friend, bro? The guy who plays in the He played Marciano, the Italian dude. Um, he plays in the. He's the guy with the tie. What's Vince Vaughn's best friend's name, dude? He's a writer director. Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn, Fred.
Oh,
He played,
okay.
who's his best friend? They're in the movies together all the time. He writes movies. Anyways,
Owen Wilson, right? Owen Wilson.
He's a writer director, bro. He played Rocky Marciano. He was in the movie Swingers. You ever seen the movie Swingers? Oh man.
You know what?
Anyways, long story short, he wrote a movie called Swingers. He wrote a movie called Swingers, and it's a B movie classic, right? God, I can't believe I don't remember his name. Anyways, there's a scene in the movie. They're all actors in the movie, and they're talking about, filming in Vegas. And then one of them mentions like, "Oh man, filming in Vegas is crazy." They're talking about Casino, right? And then they're like, "This and that," and blah blah blah. And then somebody mentions, "Man, did you see what Tarantino does?" And it's so funny because the guy says, "Man, Tarantino rips everything off from Scorsese." Right? And then the movie stops, and the next scene, all of those guys are walking, and it's the scene from Pulp Fiction, bro. They stole the scene from Pulp Fiction where they're walking in slow motion.
Really?
It was just a little jab at like Tarantino, dude. You know what I mean?
John Favreau. John Favreau.
John Favreau. Dude, it's a great movie, and it's another one. I highly recommend that. That's my next recommendation for you. If you've never seen it, watch it, bro. He made that movie for like $25,000. And
Which one?
Swingers. It came out in 1996. Rotten Tomatoes has it at 88%.
Oh, it's a great movie, bro. And it's a young Vince Vaughn.
Check it out. It is. I can see it right here.
Like I said, bro, he just takes a shot at him, man, and it's just, like I said, man, it's a classic, and I think you'll really enjoy that movie, dude. And it's another case where a dude wrote a movie because he couldn't get any parts. He was actually in that movie Rudy. I don't know if you remember watching that movie Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy. Yeah, football.
Vince Vaughn and John Favreau were in that movie, and they became like best friends, and they couldn't get parts, and John Favreau was like, you know what? I'm taking matters to my own hand. And the coolest thing about that movie, I'm sorry I'm going on, is there's this place in LA where they golf. It's a 9-hole. It's a real famous 9-hole by Hollywood in a city called oh my God. It's right next to Hollywood, bro. And it's a real famous golf course. And the last time I went down to LA, my friend was like, "Hey, dude, there's a little 9-hole that we could play golf on the way to, and we stopped, and it was where John Favreau had filmed. A lot of movies have been filmed there. And they filmed a golf scene at that place, and I got to play at it, dude. And I thought it was just so cool, man. You know what I mean? It was awesome. So that's the last of my last for the day.
Okay. No. I'm definitely gonna check that movie out. I'm for sure gonna check that movie out.
Check it out.
So, all right, Fred, favorite Tarantino movie before we wrap it up?
You know what, bro? I'd have to say Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction will probably be because Pulp Fiction, it came after Reservoir Dogs, I know, but it built what Tarantino is. It built what to expect in the films later on. So I'd have to stick with Pulp Fiction. Actually, you know what? I have in the living room in the TV where I had the TV at. There's 2 posters on each side of the TV. One is Jaws and the other one's Pulp Fiction. So
wow.
Pulp Fiction on that day. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Tarantino has to make a shark movie now. What's up, Robert?
You're in LA, born and raised in LA. It's Los Feliz Golf Club.
Los Feliz. Okay, I've heard of Los Feliz. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's over there, bro. It's an iconic 9-hole. I think it was like, I kid you not, bro, like $10 or $12 to play a 9-hole round of golf there.
Really?
And that's where they filmed a scene from that movie Swingers in that movie. It's a comedy. You know what I mean? It's a different vibe, and it's a different type of LA too. You know what I mean? That you were talking about. When you watch it, let me know what you think of it.
I am. I'm definitely gonna check it out. I'm gonna do a review on it. All right. I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna go favorite. When it comes to Pulp Fiction, man, so many characters in that movie, yet you don't get lost. There's some movies where like they throw a bunch of characters at you and you start getting confused. It's like, wait, okay, who's who, and what's that person's name, and what's this person doing?
Yeah.
The magical thing about Tarantino is that he could throw a lot of characters at you, and they can all be doing their own thing. Eventually, they all make full circle on how this is all connected.
Yeah.
But I never get lost in any of his movies. I never get like, oh wait, what's that person doing again?
Yeah.
Or I don't, okay, I don't get it. So that person, who's that again? Like I never get lost. The character development is great, always connected, and that's one thing that I really love about Pulp Fiction. And Jackie Brown's that way as well. But I gotta stick with Reservoir Dogs, man. But if we're counting all his movies, then I probably gotta go with True Romance, and that scene about the history with the Sicilians is just great,
Sicilians? Oh,
man.
that's amazing. That's an amazing
Awesome, man.
scene, dude. That's an amazing scene.
Gentlemen, anything else before you wrap it up?
No, man, I had a good time. Thank you very much. Good to see you, Fred. Glad everything's going well with you. Hope you had a great summer. Ed, always good time talking to you, man, and reconnecting and doing these shows, man. They're really fun for me, man. So awesome time as usual.
Fred, that's words.
Same here. I have the same the feeling is mutual, man, and I want to thank Cholo Trucker as well for having us on here. It's always a good time, you know, we get to discuss movies and stuff like that, and really get deep into these films, you know, and makes me want to go back and start watching them again. You know, I mean, that's just a fact of the matter, you know. But yeah, man, that's really it, you know. And then you know what? That's one thing. Again, going back to what movie would I be in of Quentin Tarantino's? Again, it would be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because my parents, God rest their soul, I love them. They passed away, but you know, I don't want to end it on a bad note. But I always ask them, why did you guys end up over here? Why can't we end up where my cat Lucy lives at? She lives in Carson. And me, anybody that really knows me, I'm a music and movie guy. LA would have been the perfect place for me, dude. And to this day, and hopefully, if things go well, bro, I will be moving to West Covina. I will be moving to West Covina.
West Covina.
something, bro. I got, man. You know, to live and die in LA, bro. To live at least the last few years of my life, dude.
You just inspired me, man. If you're moving to West Covina, I'm moving to Toluca Lake.
He should be going to those fields to play the 9-hole, man.
You know what? I'll tell you about it after all. There's an inside joke to West Covina with me and West Covina, bro. But it's just a thing, brother. It's just a thing, guys. And you know, I think that's why I also too I love the Tarantino films, because they're based in LA. You know, a lot of them are based in LA. You know, so it's a thing for me. You know. Well, yeah, man.
I'm gonna move up north because I was inspired by the movie Cups with Christian Slater. All right, man. That is Robert Anthony. That is Fred, Two-Face Entertainment, Cholo Trucker, M.A.S. Movies and Shows. Catch you guys on next one. You guys go watch the movie Cups.
Hasta la vista, baby.